are out of quarantine, so Hi, Julie. Hi,
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 Julie.
hi. First off, let me tell you that I let me.
Yeah,
There we
make
go.
yourself big.
Okay. Well, I'll make myself big. Just a minute. Let me see. How do I make myself big? I sometimes forget how. Um, I realized this morning that if I'm going to cut this up so I can work on my book, I had to get a scan made. So I did scan it, not that one. I did scan it, and there is a JPEG in the group,
Ooh,
and
yay.
several people have opened it, and Kathy said she printed it. But now here's the thing: those are copies. Those are just copies, straight out copies. Um, because it's saved as a JPEG, it saved it real tiny, which is really kind
Oh,
of look at how cool
it's
that
really
is.
cute.
Hi, Barbara.
Looks
Um,
like a perfect ATC right there.
right there, yes, and it's just perfect. And then I could put a big bug on top of it, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, but it's saved as a JPEG. So if you put it into something, you can expand the JPEG and then print it.
Oh,
So
wow,
because
that's pretty clear for being expanded that much.
well, the thing of it is it started out big, and it was just the way it saved that it saved it
Okay.
small, but then so it expanded just fine.
All
um
right.
i,
Well, good.
I because my printer, I haven't figured out how to make it print all the way to the edge, because I gave it a quarter of an inch edge, and it does
Yeah.
have a little line right there, but I just gave it that, and I just expanded the picture or JPEG to fit an 8.5 by 11. And since it was already 8.5 by 11, it I was really, yeah, it would be a pretty journaling card. I was real surprised at how clear it was, tiny.
Yeah.
That's what I was surprised at. So, anyways, I put the file in the group, in the Facebook group. So it's there. And if you want to make bugs, you can make bugs. Kathy says she's not making any bugs, but it's there because I need to cut this up so that I
Right.
can work on my book. So, um, but and maybe I'll learn to do it right the next time. I tried to save it as a PDF, but I couldn't open it again. So I don't know. Um, uh, I don't know if it's something I'm doing or if it's my word program is really old,
Yeah.
and it might be that. So, anyways, it would not open for me saved as a PDF file. So, um, it's saved as a JPEG, and everybody should be able to open a JPEG.
Yeah, I would think so.
So, if not, there should be something that they use. Like I know Barbara's that uses Apple, so there's got to be something that would take that JPEG into her software.
Yes,
And
I imagine so.
Julie and
They've
Barbara
gotten
are,
pretty good at making things transferable nowadays.
yes, yes. And it's just, it's just my word program that doesn't. So, okay, so I promised to show you what I got. And I'm not really going to go through them a lot because most of them are just, what do you call that? Just basically
Information book.
food. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're nonfiction. Um, and mostly they're just food, what foods are good for you, what foods are good for certain things, that kind of thing. And I haven't really even looked at them because I just took them out of quarantine. So I got this one. I mean, they were 50 cents a piece, and they're mostly in good condition. So,
I've heard good things about that book. I haven't
about
read
this
it, but
one,
I've heard good things about it.
okay. Well, and
I've
like I
read I
said,
mean, I did the whole 30. It
the
didn't
whole
work for
30.
me, but I did do the whole 30, for a couple of months back, a year before, or maybe 2 or 3 years before we decided to do keto.
Mm-hmm.
I tried the Whole30, and I think if somebody else could have cooked for me, I could have eaten that way the rest of my life. But it
Aha.
didn't help me lose weight, and I think it wasn't what I needed, but I enjoyed the food.
Mm-hmm.
Food was good.
Hi,
But
Karen Sue. And yes, Julie, nutrition kind of thing. Barbara says on the Mac, there's a nice little program called Preview that comes with the Mac, and you can open practically anything, resize it, and print different sizes. Yay! So,
that's
anyway,
good.
so that was one. And like I said, the dust jackets are even still on these. So now, whoever owned these books, several of them they they wrote in, okay, underlined, did stuff like that, which is fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
If
Just
I'm
makes
going to
me
use
want to look at that part and say, "Oh, well, this is what they found interesting."
right, this one's called Rapid Healing Foods, and it's older. It's 1980, um, but it seemed to be a similar book, and you know, uh, see, this one's got um, highlighter in it.
Yeah. Sounds
So
interesting.
all of these things, you have to always double check everything that they talk about because
Yeah. Yep,
you
yep.
know there's certain things that seem to be across the board. Like cherries are good for um, gout and
Arthritis.
arthritis.
Yeah.
Yes, and which gout is a kind of arthritis. So across the board, it seems to be good. So, anyways, this one's Doctor's Book of Food Remedies. So it is. They're all in the similar vein. Um, see, and I don't
Oh,
care
what's
how.
cantaloupe good for?
Okay, what is cantaloupe good
I
for?
like
Healing
cantaloupe. I
power.
need an excuse to eat it.
It can help lower high blood pressure and cholesterol, reduce the risk of heart disease, reduces the risk of cancer, and it helps to prevent cataracts. Which, I'm sorry, I'm still not going to eat it.
Oh, I love it, but it's too carby, so I don't eat it very often.
Hmm.
But I've reduced those things just changing my other food, so I'm okay
Yeah.
without it, I guess.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I can't. That's
Um,
not a good enough reason.
I think we've said hello to everybody, but hi, Julie and Barbara and Karen. This is home remedies that work, and it had all kinds of things. Um, Cold feet and hands, appreciates vitamin E kind of thing. So, and there again, I haven't really looked at these because, like I said, they've been in the bag. Is butter better?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, but they're talking about using it on a burn. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know about
and
that.
well, it used to be that was something that I've heard before. I would never put butter on a burn. For one, most butter has salt in it now, unless you buy the unsalted kind, and the salt can cause additional damage to tissue. Um,
Yeah, I buy
so
mine unsalted, but
yeah, um, but just different things that this one has. So there's that one. They just seem to have a whole shelf full. Natural health remedies. Um,
hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mandy. Um, remind me what cantaloupe is. It's a melon that is kind of it's small and it's about this big around, Julie. Most of the times I've seen them bigger. In South Dakota, they tend to get bigger, but they're about this big around. They have a very orange um, flesh. They Is it round and yes, it has sort of a gray, tan green, rough skin. Yes. Hi, Linda. So there was this one, probiotics, gastrointestinal defenders. The thing this one did have that I was really interested in. They were talking about this one's got a lot of underlining. Um, Different food extracts that you can get, but more importantly, it's what's in the food. Um, and it gives like melatonin, which is produced by the pineal gland. Melatonin is a hormone that regulates the body's wake, sleep, wake cycle. But it had some scientific stuff in it that you don't nearly see a lot in this kind of book. I
Right.
thought I thought this was very interesting. They're talking about fresh juice, and every single one for every single complaint has carrots in it.
Hi, Becky. Hi, Linda.
Hi guys.
This person thinks carrots are the cure all then.
I guess so. And this is the one I told you, that old time
Oh,
vinegar garlic baking soda.
yeah, that
Um,
is different from the book I have.
okay.
I
Uh,
think mine's just called the Vinegar Book
the
or
vinegar
something like
book.
that.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't really look at these. I just for 50 cents I grabbed them. And actually, I looked at my ticket. She charged me 49 cents. So, this was the cookbook I got. I have the Fix It and Forget It book. This one is just lightly. And I never really used these recipes or used that book for recipes. I just kind of, it gives me ideas.
Yeah.
Um, so, like, I would never fix lemony turkey breast because I don't like turkey well enough. But I might fix something like a lemon chicken because I saw that and looked at its ingredients or something like that.
Yeah.
So I got that. This is the one I got for Jeffrey.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Just the size of it.
Yeah. If he doesn't want it, it may just be mine because these pictures are really pretty. See how
Yeah.
pretty they are. So
I like that each bird has its own page.
yes, the only thing is that there most of the birds are right there, so you lose a bird every time you turn it over.
Yeah.
So, but and this is very similar to one that I have already gotten him. So, I've actually seen one of these because they
Oh,
look so
that's
much
a
like,
gorgeous bird.
yes, but they look so much like they're a cardinal, and they're not. Well, it is a card. It
Uxia?
is.
How do you say that?
I don't know, but it is a car. It is in the cardinal family. Um, because it's Cardinalus
Hi, Teresa.
Centurios. So, hi Teresa. So, and the color in this one was so pretty too. So, all right. Hold on one second. Jeffrey, I have a present for you. Let's see if he comes. Okay, and I fibbed yes Tuesday. I said I didn't get anything to cut up, really. Um, yeah, and Barbara, they were all books I don't have, and all books I was interested in reading and stuff like that. So, and at 50 cents a piece, it's not in alphabetical order. That's true, Barbara. Hi, Nancy.
Hi,
Um,
Nancy.
this one I got this one to tear up. Um, they for 50. Well, and like I said, they were 49 cents. And what I like about this one is it seems that the this picture's here and this picture's there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And I have another book that I was going to tear up that has similar kind of drawings, but I've found that I want to keep it because it's a really good reference book. And this one's all about orchids. So the the reference part of it does not intrigue me as much. And then it had these nice pictures in the middle. So I did get, something that I was going to tear up. And I got one more thing, and I think this is why she charged it 49 cents, I guess. I don't know, because this is 49 cents, and I thought these were so cute.
Oh, those are sweet.
Yeah, I thought they were really sweet. I don't know how many's in here, but um, it seems like there's a fair number of them. Oh, it looks like there's just 5. Yep.
Well, 5 is better than none.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah, it looks like there's just 5, but that's okay. Like I said, I thought I got a pretty good deal on the books. So, that was, that was a good thing. D-stash, yeah. When you, I got rid of a lot of books, but I unless it's a reference book, I don't tend to keep it. Did you come to get your present? Yes, I did. Did you come to get your present?
Well, the phone rang right when you were talking to me.
Oh.
The Jeep's ready. I told him we'd be there at 5.
Yeah. Uh-huh. If you don't want it, I will cut it up, but I figured you wanted it. He said, "Oh, did y'all hear him? Oh."
I did. I heard that.
Oh, uh-huh.
Where did this?
When I stopped at the thrift store the other day. Yeah. They had a really good book sale. So,
Thanks, Teresa.
yes, Barbara, the cards are always nice, and they were all butterflies, so I sort of thought, ooh, Barbara took books off and restocked with art supplies. See, and that's the thing. That's why those 2 books that I cannot find are just driving me bananas, because I know they're 2 books I wouldn't have gotten rid of.
Yeah.
So, I don't. Anyways, I did make a couple of copies. The other thing is honestly, I like that copy better than I like the. It's really pretty. I just really like it. And I just love what it does when you shrink it. Where'd the shrinky one go?
Where's the shrinky dink?
There's my shrinky dink one. There's my little itty bitty one. And I'm just amazed that you can even read down here where it says figure. I can't read it. Change glasses. Maybe I can. Yes, if I change glasses, I can read it. It says figure 105 right there. And that's
Hi, Andrea.
104.
Well, that's cool. I can't wait to print it out.
So, anyways, it's there for y'all if you want it. So, and I'm going to paint this other one. I'm going to finish painting it before not with those glasses. Those glasses make me dizzy. Woo-hoo. Hi, Andrea.
Well, I went down a couple of pages behind this and came up on this music page.
Oh,
and it's
that's
only
cool.
a couple of pages down, but I think I want it.
Yeah, I think you should keep it. Yep.
So that means I've only got this much left to excavate, and then I'll be done.
Cool.
So I know. So I'm going to
with a magnifying glass. Well, Julie, actually, just the readers that the doctor told me I was going to have in the first place. Let's see. These were 2.5s, and I can read that little stuff, but I can't see much else. Oh, those. Yeah, isn't it, Andrea? I think it's beautiful what she's done. Those 36 Inktense blocks are just keep yelling at me. Jeff doesn't know it yet, but I did buy. Hi, Linda. Did I say hello to Linda? I hope so.
I did. I hope
Okay.
you. I don't know if you did or not, but I jumped in and interrupted you and said hi to her
Okay.
because
Well,
I was
I hope.
afraid I would forget.
Yeah, I hope everyone knows that we're really glad you're here. So,
Oh
but
no, see, I like that too.
oh yes, Lisa. Okay, it
Yeah,
needs to have more depth.
yes, it does.
So take it out. Take a bunch of layers out and put it back in because it's really perfect right there.
Yeah, it is, and I agree with you that that's what I need to do.
Andrea is giving me permission. Do it, do it, do it. Oh dear.
She's giving you permission to do what?
Get the blocks.
Oh,
Uh huh, uh huh. Yep, yep. Andrea, honestly, if I thought I would really use them enough, I would, but it's just one of those things. Um, you have to color a lot, and I don't. So I don't know. Maybe I should try using them in my art journal and see if I would use them more than I have been.
yeah,
Maybe.
it's one of those things you just have to start thinking. You know, is this
Yeah,
a time when I could use that?
yeah. So well, and I have found that I do like to color with these. I never liked to color before, and this makes me want to color.
Okay, I'm taking it out and saving it.
Okay. I will. Teresa says I will. No, Mindy, I didn't buy them yet. They were in my cart, but I took them out. I need to get part of the reason I didn't want to take any chance with anything coming what do you call it, next week.
While you're
So
going to be gone.
yeah, which is not a big deal. I can have anything sent to mom's house. I've done that in the past. And I might just go ahead and I've got to order glue sticks is what I've really got to order, or I'll be in trouble because I don't have anything left. Okay. Can y'all see? Yeah. Yes, Teresa, I know I will. And I have a lot of supplies that I don't use. I have pencils and things, watercolor pencils and whatnot that I don't use because I have found I don't like um, supplies that aren't permanent. I don't. I'm not the water soluble girl. I shouldn't have. If I had learned that sooner, there's supplies I would never have purchased. You could done this on the tags yesterday instead of what you did. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Mandy. Julie. Um, I think you're talking about this. Yeah, Andrea, there's so many things. Yep. hmm This just because, I just don't use them enough, that kind of thing. And well, now I have some supplies. There are colored pencils in my drawer that I didn't buy. They were dad's. I have paintbrushes. And I actually had some paint. It finally decided it needed to go elsewhere. Um, but I have some paints and things that were my father's, and probably hasn't painted in 15 years or better. So So it's, you know, I have collections.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
And
had a
luckily, Jeffrey has always made made sure I had a space, you know, to work in and things like that. Since we could afford it, I should say. But then when we've had 8 houses, we kind of hunt them for spaces.
yeah. You've learned how to find them.
Well, and I always said, you know, we've only ever had one time in all those years that we had trouble selling our house, and we sold it in like 3 months, maybe 3.5 months. But if we had listed it when I wanted to list it, it would have been sold. But the realtor didn't want me to list it at Christmas time. So I listened to the realtor, and I have learned I don't listen to anybody but myself anymore about that. Um, a lady came into the neighborhood and bought 4 houses for her family um, at Christmas, and if I had had my house listed, it would have been sold. Instead, it took a while to sell that one. But I've always bought houses that were pretty easy to sell. You know, you have to be careful what you buy. If they weren't necessarily the houses I wanted, they were the houses I knew we could sell if we had to.
Yeah.
And this one, Jeffrey told me I could do anything I wanted to it. I could paint it any color I want. Right? He tells me this, but you know, he painted the grill work out front white. It's like, oh, we needed, you know. Actually, I would have liked to have covered up the grill work out front, but he painted it, so we'll just leave it painted. Like Sizzix, I pretty much know how to cut on it, yes, but I never remember which shims go with what dyes and paper. What's going on? Very true, remember. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, they're getting something. We're not paying attention.
Oops. Sorry.
Okay. When I was puzzling over and cursing her Cuddlebug last night, I was dreading ever buying a big die cut machine. But you need them for the big dies. Yes. The Cuddlebug is big. Okay. I was off the Facebook page downloading bugs. Okay. Yeah, I thought the Cuddlebug was little. Basic fold up Cuddlebug. So that was one nice thing about my sidekick, or big. Mine is a big kick. It's not a sidekick. It's a big kick, right? I think. Um, it's the 6.5 inch wide one, anyways. The
Yeah, it's the big kick.
Yeah, the plate that came with it, the shims are actually attached to the plate, so I can't hardly make a boo boo.
And they tell you what to do on each one.
Yeah, it's got pictures of the dies on each one of what works in this and what works in that. Now, granted, sometimes your paper or your cardstock might be a little different, and I've had some cheaper cardstock that didn't cut real well. I have found that with the cheaper cardstock that doesn't cut very well, if you put a piece of copy paper with it, it cuts pretty good. But so you do have those kinds of things. Yeah, the shim attached to the plate. Yeah, I was gonna say the Cuttlebug's got some. They've changed a bunch of stuff about the Cuttlebug. You can't get everything now. I think is true. Um, yes, when you have more or less in the mix. That's I agree with you, Barbara. Um, it will change things.
Well, I have a friend who is just beginning to do mixed media and junk journaling and stuff, and I had taken out some pages out of some wallpaper books, some older ones that I've had for a while, that I've been, using stuff out of them for a while. And I took some pages out to send in my those D-stash bags. And then I thought at first I'll just put these in the dumpster because there's not that much left in them. But then I got to one where there was really quite a bit left,
Hmm.
and I thought of her. So so I called her and she's like, "Yes, please give me your wallpaper books." So she came over today and picked up eight parts of
Partial.
wallpaper books.
Hmm. Um, did you get Ethan to the polls like you wanted
We
to?
did. Yeah, we
Yay.
did. And it was when I looked out, I was glad we waited till today, and I was glad we went at 10 o'clock. Well, it was actually
Mm.
10:30, but um, because every Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe it was just Tuesday and Wednesday, um, when I would drive by the polling places, the lines were just really long, and I knew he was not going to want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just praying that it wouldn't be that way, and he would be able to do it, and because I knew he wanted to do this, and it wouldn't want to get out again, and so um, it wasn't bad. We had to wait outside for maybe 5 minutes before we got to go in, and it took a little bit longer because of the form of ID he's got. And it was the first time for him to use it to vote. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
they had to do some checking and stuff. But he got in there and he voted. So, and I voted.
Yay.
So I walked outside, and this this older man walked out right behind me, and he said, "Okay, we did our part.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
It's not up to us anymore." I was like, "Nope, we did our part. That's up to everybody else." I just thought that was so funny. Nope, we did our part.
How many blades have you needed to do your book?
Well, I'm working with two knives, and both of them probably should be replaced now. But I did this whole book with these two
With
blades.
those two. Okay.
Yeah. I'm still using this one, but it would probably be easier to work with right now if I went ahead and replaced it.
Mhm.
But anyway,
The apparently Barbara, Texas governor gave them an extra week because we had a discussion about the fact that Houston was going to be awful as far as
yeah. Well, we got an extra week of early voting because our in our mail-in voting laws are so strict. You
Mhm.
have to really have. I mean, you could lie and you could say you're going to be out of the county during the whole early voting period and voting day. You could do that. Um, and Ethan kind of wanted to do that, but he didn't.
Yeah.
um, but you have to either be gone or you have to have proof of diagnosis of certain physical ailments that will keep you from the polls. And
Yeah, see, ours is pretty easy as far as mailing goes, and age is a factor because
yeah,
mom already did hers.
well, if you're over 65, it's a lot easier to be able to mail in your vote here. That group gets, you know, it's easier. But
Yeah.
I figure if I can go to Walmart, I can go vote. So I wasn't worried about it.
Well, there's a polling place north of us. It's a little drive, and it's not the closest one or anything, but it
Yeah.
will work. It works very nice because there's not very many people that go up there because it's kind of out in the county kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think Jeff said Monday is the first day, but we're going to try to go Tuesday. The problem is we've got half a dozen things happening Tuesday. We finally got somebody that's going to come about the trees to talk to us about the cost of what the trees are going to cost, and he's coming Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this morning. We've already had a full day before lunchtime. We'd had a full day. We have this problem with moisture under the house. We've talked about that before. Anyways, because of it, there's a fungus that we've had to have dealt with, and the last couple of years it's been more than under control. But they want to put a moisture barrier under the house, and like we said, it's going to float away. And so anyways, we were talking about it, and up until it had been dry under there until we had the hurricane. So we had a long talk with the guy today, and he's coming back in November, and then in December they're going to put the moisture barrier under there. But right now it's real wet under there. So
Yeah.
fans going, the whole 9 yards.
Well, I tell you, they did a really good job. You didn't have to touch anything. They even gave you Q-tips to use to vote.
Oh, that's cool.
You didn't even have to open the door to go in. I mean, you touched nothing except to sign your name. You had, it was a touch screen, but they turned it around and cleaned it before the next person. So, and they were keeping everybody 6 feet apart, and they had plenty of places, different machines to go to. So it was, I didn't think it was a big deal to go in and vote.
Yeah.
But my mom and Daryl even went in and voted. They didn't even do, mail-in ballots. So, but anyway, that's all I want to say about that. Well, that's it. It's done.
It's done. Yay.
So now I'm going to varnish it and then set it aside.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to make you big. You have to show us. I'm surprised how quickly you got it done, but that is really cool. I'm sure that we can't see near the depth because that's got a lot of depth. Now that way looks really cool.
It does, doesn't it?
Uh-huh. And you're going to varnish all of those. You're going to varnish all of those edges, right?
I'm going to varnish the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to do that right now.
Okay. You got a place to set it once you get done with it?
Well, I'm going to find one real quick before I
yeah, but before you start with the liquid, you best find a place. Yep. Okay.
I have a place. I need to put something on it protective, just in case I get carried away. Here we go.
Oh, you never do that, do you?
Well, you never know. I'm pretty good at being heavy-handed when it comes to painting stuff. I had a friend I used to do ceramics with, and she would say, Lisa, your one coat is like my three coats. And you put three coats on there, it is it is glazed.
Yeah. Hi, Nancy. I don't know that I've said hi to Nancy. Um, Julie wants to know if that's going to irritate your allergies.
That's possible. It's possible. It might be better to wait. I just didn't think about that. That's probably a good idea, actually, to do it outside later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. You're right.
Because
Thank you so much, Julie.
it's too hot to open the door probably.
Yeah, it is. Let me just smell it and see, because actually, this doesn't hardly have much of a smell.
What is that one?
It's the Delta Creative Ceramic
Delta.
Coat.
Mm-hmm.
It's what Dee Dee uses on her reverse collages.
Uh-huh.
So I think I'll just go ahead. It's not.
Then it will be done.
Yeah. It really. Yeah. It's a water based,
Yeah.
non toxic, no toxico.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
It's
I
not
know
gonna. I'm
better.
not gonna drink it anyway. But
I know better than to believe that, though.
well, I'm sure it's toxic in California.
Yeah.
Let's see if it says, because everything causes cancer in California. That's why I don't live there. Not really. I just like to tease them about it. It's just the way they write it on everything.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's only cancerous if you're in California.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell hubby Ricky thank you. It is a lot of hard work. But it's fun. I'm liking it. I do need to clean my brush though, and that water thing is very dirty that it's sitting in. So I'm gonna move it to a clean water thing.
Well, I filled up my little brush before I came in here today because my little brush said, I'm thirsty. Didn't have enough water in it.
Well, I'm glad you filled it up. Oh,
Uh-oh. That was not a good sound.
I got up.
Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, let's see here. I think we need some red in these bugs. I thought I had red in the bugs, but for some reason they have just turned out to not be very red.
Okay. Now, I'm not sure what the best way to do this is. I don't know. I'm just gonna put little dabs in places and then work it around all the
Mm-hmm. The big
sides
thing
that are
is
close
you're
to
going
that
to have to
place.
work it up the sides where yeah. It's not so much the top of it, it's going to be up the sides where you've cut it.
Yeah. And this may be too big of a brush.
No, I don't think so. And you may have to do it in more than one layer.
Yeah, that's
Well, good
probably true.
afternoon, Mike.
I did when I did the sides, I
Mm-hmm.
did um several, like twice, I guess.
Yeah. So, Mike's here.
Hey, Mike.
Are you working or goofing off? Mike is who I'm talking to. Because, I'm goofing off.
I
So,
know I'm goofing off.
Linda must have got off early today. Did you get off early today, Linda? Or is it just my imagination that it was early? We're all going with Julie so she can make a cup of tea.
Okay.
I did not collect my blueberry leaves the other night. We had a discussion about it. He's going to trim them all back in February anyways, and that's when they actually start to turn red, which is what I really want.
Yeah.
So, it's when it gets cold, so
Right.
whenever it gets cold, I'll go get some.
Well, that's good.
So, yes, in a way you did. I'm in the combine, but I wouldn't call this work. Okay, Mike, I understand. Yeah, when you just gotta sit there and ride around for it to drive itself, I don't know that I would call that work either. Hmm. I do know that I have an uncle that really likes that kind of work, though.
Say it's a nice way to accomplish something.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I may wish I hadn't done this
Why?
because the top layer where I'm putting this is bubbling up.
Oh dear.
Um, I maybe should have just done the sides and not done the top at all.
Uh huh.
But I didn't know that, so I'm already done the top on most of it. So
Well, I'm glad you got off a little bit early, Julie. Okay.
I hope this maybe will be less bubbly when it dries. Right now, that's really offending me.
Oh dear. Not good. Not
It's
when
like all that work and it's bubbling all over the
that's
place.
bubbling on it. Well, you know why? That's probably clay coated paper.
Yeah. So think about that, folks, before you start this project.
That you may not want to coat the surface. It will hopefully dry, Lisa.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I'm continuing on as if it's going to.
Well, you can't do much else now, can you?
No, it needs
I
to at
mean,
least all be the same.
you're kind of stuck with it, unfortunately. I just went over outside the lines.
Well, I bet it'll be okay.
Yeah, no one else will really notice it but me. But it's still irritating when I do something like that. Um, Unfortunately, Julie, if it bubbles, sometimes you can't do anything about it. It's about the fact that that paper had a surface on it. Now, I don't think it's all clay anymore, but used to be paper that was shiny like that was clay coated, is what they called it. And the surface had a really smooth layer of clay over it so that the ink stayed on the surface of the paper. And Mike says you see it as lifting, I see it as auto texture.
There
There
you
you go.
go. Okay.
He's
Thank you,
got
Mike.
she's got even more texture in her book than there you go. Um, but that way that made the ink stay on the surface of the paper instead of sinking into the paper. Yeah, it's a little early for chocolate, although that's they put chocolate in donuts. So hi Susan.
That's
Um,
true. Or chocolate
yeah,
waffles.
chocolate waffles. There you go. Chocolate syrup on pancakes. What is those crepes? Don't they
Yeah,
don't
I
they put
even know somebody who would make chocolate gravy for their biscuits.
I've seen that um on a menu in a restaurant, but that's one of those things I've never thought would be
Me either.
particularly appetizing.
I've never tried it, but uh, that particularly set of cousins all love it.
Aha.
So,
Well, you know,
and they're fairly reasonable people, so it might be okay.
yeah. Of
All
course,
right.
they tout those, what do they call it, chicken and waffles or something like that as a Southern thing. Jeff says I don't know where that ever came into being because I never ate that as a kid. So
No, it's somebody's new type of Southern thing.
that's it. Hmm.
Okay. Well, we're gonna put it up, and y'all can see all those wrinkles, can't you?
Yeah, but
It's very obvious.
they'll dry and they won't be quite so wrinkly and it'll be fine. I have faith.
Okay. Well, we're gonna all have faith with Tanya. Oh, I
LOL.
found
Just
that
not.
math book I was gonna show you.
Oh, okay, good. Just a
Hi,
minute. Let me
Ann.
make. Hi, Anne. I'll make you bigger.
Okay. It's
Some
called The
unknown.
Math Book.
The math book. Oh, it's got a pretty book jack cover.
Yeah. It's a soft cover book, but it's a sturdy soft cover. It says from Pythagoras to the 57th dimension, 250 milestones in the history of mathematics.
Give me just a minute and let me answer Mike.
That's fine.
It's a sandwich, Mike, with chicken in the middle of waffles, and it's got syrup on it. Okay, and the fast food places especially are serving it, and they're touting it as a Southern thing. And my husband says he never heard of it. So, okay, now Lisa can talk with her math book.
Oh, that's all right. That's
A
just
math book.
um it's got it has a few photos like this, but most of the pictures are let's see if I can stick something under it so it won't be so glary maybe. Um
Hmm.
there's a
That's it. That's
cicada generated prime numbers.
hmm. That's
Their
interesting.
emergence is synchronized with periods of years that are usually prime numbers 13 and 17.
Okay, I did
During the
not know.
spring of their 13th or 17th year, these periodical cicadas construct an exit tunnel. Sometimes more than 1.5 million individuals emerge in a single acre. I can attest to that.
Yes, I've seen that.
Oh.
Yep, I have seen that.
This is talking about knots.
Okay.
It says for centuries, mathematicians have tried to develop ways to distinguish tangles that look like knots, called unknots, from true knots, and to distinguish true knots from one another.
Okay, I can already tell you that book's over my head. I'm sure of it. It's positive. It's over my head.
I was trying to see what this bone was found in Ishango near the headwaters of the Nile River. One column of marks on the bone begins with 3 notches that double to 6 notches, 4 notches double to 8 notches, 10 notches half to 5. This may suggest a simple understanding of doubling or halving. Even more striking is the fact that numbers in the other columns are all odd. One column contains the prime numbers between 10 and 20. Oh, so this is just things they found, and so they're assuming these
Mm-hmm.
notches had to have been put here on purpose because of their mathematical nature.
Did you see what Mike said? The,
Uh-uh.
the knot thing is how string theory got its name.
Oh, well, cool. Thanks, Mike. I didn't know that. It probably says that in here somewhere, but I didn't keep reading.
Yeah. Um, Barbara, yeah, I know. That's why you get books and read them. Uh-huh. Um, but at the same time, sometimes it's sometimes my brain is too old for that stuff anymore. I know.
Anyway, I just thought the pictures are all on one side, which would work well for to use in the book,
To you.
and
Uh-huh.
they're all different.
Yep.
Um,
And
some
Barbara,
of them look mathematically, and some of them don't.
I brought home what, 8 or so nonfiction books the other day to read. Yeah. My big $5 purchase. Hmm. Yep.
This is pi,
There you go.
or their example of pi. Anyway, they talk about as things were the different things that were discovered, and this is their example for the Archimedes spiral.
That sounds like a book to look at too.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to read it before I do anything. So it won't be my next book that I do this to. But I think because of the different pictures, what you were talking about, what you were talking about taking out,
Yeah.
and
And
I think would
yeah,
work well with this one.
yeah. Oh, Mike, that Common Core math stuff is so ridiculous. Yeah. Yes, and the golden ratio is based on math. Barbara says it's a good bathroom book.
Yeah, it is. You just read one page and, oh, look, bugs.
Bugs. Oh, look, bugs. Okay, well, spiders have 8 legs, right?
Yeah, I was trying to see what this is about. I don't know. It's just a pretty picture they put with that math formula.
Okay. I have one more bug on this page, and then I'm going to start cutting bugs out.
Anyway, I'm not going to go through the whole book. I'll just do a quick. Well, it's
But
hard to
yes,
flip quick because
all
it's
of
so.
those pictures on one page on one side would give you that look I was thinking about when I was talking about that one book, where what it was, guys, it was all pictures, and all that happened is when you carved down into it, they had just carved sort of a design, a shape, and each layer that showed was sort of a different color, and therefore it looked like terracing. And then they added a few odd pictures into the book. So
Ooh, that's pretty.
yes, it is pretty.
Antoine's necklace.
You know what? Hmm. Hmm.
What?
Hmm. I'll be right back. I just have to go across the room.
My son was fascinated with geodesic domes when he was young, and every time he would see one, I would call it, I think, geocentric or something. I would call it the wrong thing, and he would say, "Mom, it's geodesic." He was very patient with me.
Hmm. Well, it's a good thing he was patient.
Yeah, it
I
was
actually went
because
to school. And there was a half a dozen Buckminster Fuller stones around where I went to school because he taught there
uh-huh.
somewhere along the line. I don't know exactly when he taught there, but he taught there. So I just have one bug left. Golden rectangle alert. Barbara wanted to know where you found that book.
I found it at the thrift store.
Okay, you might want
I
to
would
show
bet
her
you
the.
could find it on Amazon, but I found it at the thrift store.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The Math Book by Clifford A. Pickover. Sorry.
Okay. Um, it's a pretty book. That's one of the things. It's
Yeah,
very
it is. It's
pretty.
a real pretty book. And it's nice and thick and it feels good in your hand. All the things a book should be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to show. I'm going to look at this book now that
Oh,
I
go
have my.
back to you or
I will.
us or
Yeah. Um. I finished all my bugs. I'm going to let this one dry. I'll cut the other ones out in a minute. Um. I'll scan this one before I get it up, but it has to dry. But I was thinking, I haven't looked to see. Um. But I have this book. Um. It was on my shelf to get rid of it. Um. I hate to cut it up, but partially because I paid for this book. Big time.
it's got lots of cool shapes.
It's got lots of cool shapes. It's got lots of cool colors. Mm. Wonder why I have that tagged right there. I thought I had it tagged. I don't remember. It's got a bunch of the artists in here I have met and know, and it's signed, although I'm not coming up on any of the signatures, unless that's the other book. I have two of these similar books. They were produced different years. And I know a lot of these artists, and I've actually taken classes with some of them.
Well, that's cool.
Um, so, yes, I'm going to fussy cut them. And yes, Andrew, it's a bead book. But I was just thinking this book might make a really cool terrace book, but the pictures aren't all the same size, so you'd end up with an awful lot of white. So I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I also would feel very guilty cutting it up. That is the big problem.
Yeah.
Because heaven's sakes, what did I pay for this silly book? Now you can buy this book a lot cheaper now, but yeah, $25.
Yeah, for me that's real money.
It was back in the day when I was actually making some. So, I think Mike asked me a question. No, Susan asked me a question. Andrew said this is a bead book. Yes, it's 1,000 glass beads. There's also one of these that is artists, beaded jewelry artists. There's one of those. Barbara found that math book on Amazon and put it in her cart.
All right. Barbara's going to get herself educated or more educated. I'm sure she's already educated, but
Julie, there are almost no bead shops left anywhere. every person, every bead shop owner that I know has closed their shops. That's just how sort of bad it's gotten in the as far as bead sales. Yeah, you could get bead making jewelry magazines. I used to get all of those, and that's one of the things I totally got rid of before we left South Dakota. I went in and um, I called any articles and stuff that I wanted out of the magazines, and I think I kept 4 or 5 magazines. I have magazines where my beads were in the magazine, whether it was because another artist used them or because I submitted something, and I kept those. And other than that, I had the very first bead and button ever made, and now they don't make a thing. Huge bead shop in Bismarck. I've been in that bead shop in Bismarck, actually. I think that's where the one was that I went to. Yeah, Barbara, you should feel wealthy because the one that was in Milton, she had to give up her shop. There was one in Foley. No, was it Foley? It was near Foley, which is over in Alabama. They've just recently closed. It's kind of like they've gone the same way of scrapbooking stores. So anyway, Susan, yes, I'm going to cut these out. I'll get my book and show you what it's. Oh, I forgot to put Lisa back in there, and she's doing something.
I'm just tearing paper out of the book. I'm working from the back of the book now.
Yes, Bass Pro and Cabela's and Cabela's. Now down here they don't sell it, but Cabela's and Bass Pro in South Dakota both sell my favorite beading, not wire, but beading thread, which is actually called Fireline. It's a freshwater fishing line. They don't sell it down here because the salt water eats it too fast. But this is what my book is looking like. I've got bugs pretty much about halfway through. I just kind of ran out of bugs the other day, so I had to stop. Realized that my one bug was flying. I had forgotten to put most of my bugs coming out the edges, so I did put one up there that's coming out. So they're doing it. I'm getting there. I'm about, let's see. That one needs some more bugs, but so I'm about a third of the way through with bugs. Yes, beads on lures, Andrea. Mike answered you though, I think. Yep. And I used to use a lot of little, I think they're called spinners. They're a little wire thing that it's got like a little circle piece at the top that you tie on one end, and then it's the piece that you attach a hook to. And I like them on earrings because they let your beads spin around. Yeah, I forgot. I was going to make some of them stick out the edges, Mindy, and then I sort of was working on the hole in the middle and realized I had forgotten. So I'm going to start putting a few more out there, and I may have to go back and put a few. But they kind of have to be the bigger, sturdier bugs, which this sheet ought to help me with as far as bigger, sturdier bugs. So. Okay. Do fish? Just Susan says she likes a sturdier bug herself. Yep. I know. I know that was kind of a silly thing to say, but it's true. I need the bigger, sturdier bugs. The ones that aren't frail and wimpy. Of course, most bugs are not frail and wimpy. They may be small, but most of them are pretty darn strong. Okay. No, Barbara, these are directly out of my book. I put them, I took them out of my book and put them on, oh, that's a good bug right there, and glued them to cardstock. So they are glued to cardstock, but these are the originals, and I just cut up my master sheet. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Andrea, don't let your imagination run away with you. Okay. Now, here's the thing: is that if I should have done this last night, got these cut out, so you didn't have to sit here and watch me fussy cut. But I'll cut a few and glue a few, and then I can cut the rest of them up. I've got a show I'm working, so it doesn't matter. We were always told not to wear shiny jewelry to the beach because the sharks are attracted to the glint. I don't know.
I don't either, but if I wore shiny jewelry to the beach, I'd lose it. So that would be good enough reason to keep me from doing it.
Yes, and I have a friend who has found many shiny things on the beach, but when Jeffrey goes, he doesn't ever seem to find anything like that. He doesn't even. Last time we went, he didn't even find any bottle caps. He said he'd never seen a beach so clean. And then after Sally, he really wanted to go to the beach, and use his little metal detector. And gosh, we can't go to the beach now. And we can't go because it would take, an hour and a half, 2 hour ride around because our bridge is destroyed. Brand spanking new bridge that just got opened a few months ago. Got destroyed.
That's concerning.
They had something like 20 barges break loose in the storm.
Goodness.
Somebody is really in trouble.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
But not only that, a barge bumped it and broke it. So
that means it wasn't a very good bridge.
Yeah, the bridge builders are in a little trouble too.
Yeah, I guess it's better for them to figure it out because of a hurricane when nobody's on it than
that's true.
Than if a barge hit it and broke it while people were driving across it.
All that glitters isn't gold, Most of mine is not. Mine is definitely not. Yes, Andrea, and you know what I have found is that boys' toys cost even more than girls' toys. Did you know that?
From birth to death, it's true.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And for some unknown reason, we seem to have to buy the same toy a few times because we never seem to get the right one first. Like, what? Oh, what was it recently? Let's see, what was it recently? I have forgotten. Oh, the welder. Last year, Jeff had to have a new welder because the welder he bought, he didn't buy a good enough one. That was the deal. You know, they wear out when they're not the good enough ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to go get a new one. I said, okay, I'm tired of this. Just buy the best one you can possibly afford. He's like, well, maybe I shouldn't spend this much. I'm like, just go get it.
And then
I
I
mean,
don't
he
ever want
well,
to hear about it again.
yeah, that's right. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to have to get another one. But he welds stuff on a Jeep and stuff like that. Rebel Sports Shop. There you go, Julie. And of course, now most of Jeff's fishing gear is not pricey stuff. He has, we have bought, what do you call that? Like garage sale stuff and things like that. He's got some brand new stuff, and I think he doesn't even have to have a fishing license anymore. Not for here, if I remember correctly. He got old. And when you get old here, you don't have to buy a fishing license. But he hasn't been in a while. He needs to do that.
Yeah.
Of course, he said that, trying to make fence posts stand back up the other day, he hurt himself. So he was not in a great buying fishing gear for crafts. I have a lot of fishing gear in my bead boxes. Beads and spinning blades and mirrors, you name it. Somewhere along the line, I bought spoons, is what they're called. They're fishing thing, and they're called spoons, I think. Is that right, Mike? And I've got them in all kinds of different shapes and sizes. They're shiny silver because they were made of something I could enamel. Yes, drywall tape is a really good, yes. And, Elmer's glue all by the gallon. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hardware store is one of my favorite places. Oh, I wanted copper washers. Okay. And I could find all kinds of little ones, but I had some great big copper washers. I mean, they were like this big. And I just wanted more. And I couldn't find them and couldn't find them. The one nice thing about living in, yes, spoons are a thing. Yep. I thought they were, Mike. About living in South Dakota was that if you went to the right hardware store asking for something, they would know what it was and where to find it. And they sent me to the John Deere place, and it was not they didn't call them a washer because They were called a gasket, a copper gasket for some kind of giant tractor. And I bought a whole bag full of these giant copper gaskets, but they looked like a washer to me. So Lisa has turned off the lovely ripping of paper sound. She doesn't want to interrupt the talking with her tearing, which I thought that's what everybody liked when I was tearing mine.
Actually, I didn't want to interrupt the talking with my daughter's philosophizing.
Ah, okay. She's a busy little girl today. This is what happens when they graduate and they don't have homework anymore.
Yeah, but she keeps herself busy.
Okay,
I,
they're
but
drain plug gaskets. Okay, see, I told you if you ask the right person, they know exactly what you want. I
drain
know
plug
she keeps.
gaskets.
Yes, they're big copper washers. I know she keeps herself busy.
She is very glad that she's graduated though, and she can keep herself busy with things
She
that
wants
she
to do.
wants to do. I said, "Well, enjoy it because it won't be long. You'll be getting a job, and you'll have the have tos again."
That's right. And I agree with you. There's nothing better than a good hardware store. Now we have the coolest hardware store. It's not right here in Pensacola. It's over in Milton. It's called Hall's Hardware. It's a family owned, I think, still. First off, when you go in there, you can't walk 2 feet without somebody asking you if you need help. So when you go in, there's always somebody that can help you find the thing that you want. Um, but if it's not in their department, they know who to call, that kind of thing. And they have they're big. They have what do you call that? Um, a
Franchise? Oh,
garden
okay.
center, but they also have an amazing kitchen department. Um, and a good hardware store will have like often have canners and that kind of stuff. But this one has, oh man, they have really cool kitchen stuff. But they have a lot of stuff besides just hardware. But they still have the old drawers where when you open the drawer, hi Susie, where you pull out the drawer and you can buy 3 screws of one size. When you open the next drawer, and you can buy 1 screw of that size, and you can buy washers and stuff like that with without having to buy a whole package. Yes, paper bag when you buy just a couple of things. Yep, and I like that too. They have that. It's just a fabulous store. Um, they have a really nice garden department. They have a tiny little camping department. They have some boat stuff. They have all kinds of paint stuff. That's where I buy my mother's honey, believe it or not. Um, it's an odd place to buy honey, but they carry some local products.
That's
Oh, and
cool.
the other cool thing they have is those real odd sodas. They have bottles, and you buy one bottle of soda,
Yeah.
and they have those really odd sodas. Now I can't drink soda, so I don't ever get to have one, but they have that totally gross soda. And There's another hardware store here in town that's called, what's it called now? It used to be called Hudson Hardware. And it was funny. They had, and they still have some. They just have not replaced anything in a very long time. Everything that's in there is really old. But that's where I bought my Stabilo pencil. When I needed a Stabilo pencil, I was in
Yeah.
there one day. We were looking for something specific, and which we did find in there. Uh, and I was going through their art supplies, and they had a couple of Stabilo pencils. But they still have art supplies, like what used to be high-end art supplies. Of course, it also used to be sort of a thrift shop too. Back when Jeff and his brother were younger, they had boards and stuff for surfboards. Yes, it's like fried chicken, Mike, like a fried chicken breast, or um yes, Andrea, the cap is green and black writing, and it's called Totally Gross Soda. And Mike, yes, the chicken and waffles, it's like a piece of fried chicken, like a chicken tender, like you would get on a fried chicken sandwich at mm, well, I don't know. I haven't eaten a fried chicken sandwich in a very long time, but McDonald's I'm sure has a fried chicken sandwich. And then they put it on between waffles, and you eat it supposedly, I guess, like a sandwich. I don't know. I've never ordered it. That would not be something I would like, as sugar with, of course, I'm not real fond of, you know, things like waffles and pancakes because sugar is not my thing. But yeah, Susan, doesn't Popeye's chicken carries it? Oh, good. Jeffrey, can you get the door? That's interesting. That's an odd shaped box for what I ordered.
What did you order?
Teflon sheets for my dehydrator and a replacement. Yeah, it's for the dehydrator. It's Teflon sheets and a replacement. Remember the replacement screen? Yeah. Somehow or another, I've lost one of the plastic screens that go on my dehydrator trays. So, and they had a 20% off sale the other day. I've been, waiting to order them. And
The Amazon?
no, I actually ordered them directly from Excalibur.
I just knew I bought several things that were 20% off on Amazon.
Okay. Now I didn't find much on Amazon, but no,
I found a few things. Some of them were the vitamin supplements that I like to use.
you
They
like?
had them 20% off, and so
Well, that's good.
I thought so.
Especially if it's something you're going to use.
Gonna buy anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, come on here.
Yeah, Susan, it sounds pretty kind of totally gross. Sort of, this sounds pretty gross to me, but yeah, Mike, if you have like those breaded chicken tenders, we haven't had that in a long time. Jeffrey used to like to make chicken tenders and curly fries. I try not to eat like that, but every once in a while you gotta let them.
Yeah. I asked my husband what he wanted me to cook Sunday or this weekend for lunch. I'm thinking we'll do it Sunday because that way I don't have to cook when you're streaming. But he said, I want Taco Bella.
Oh, I
I was
see.
like, you don't have to ask me twice. We don't do it very often. We've done it like twice since March,
Uh-huh.
um, but
See, here, that's how Jeffrey cooks all the time. Barbecue and white bread. That's it. They have at least 3 locations.
well, they're gonna have beef tips, and well, it would be
I
like
don't see why you can't use Eggo waffles, Mike. I would make them so that put them in the toaster so they're a little crunchy. And
yeah.
you were going to have beef tips?
Well, what I do, I call them that, but what they are, it's stew meat that I used to buy and make kebabs with.
Mm-hmm.
Except I got lazy, and so I just put the meat on a piece of parchment paper with the seasoning all over it in the oven and let it cook, and do the vegetables the same way in another tray, and instead of putting them on the kebab thingies.
Yeah, just made roasted vegetables in the oven. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And so we're gonna have that on Saturday, and then Sunday we're gonna have our Taco Bella.
Okay, chicken and waffles originally started in the 1930s in a restaurant in Harlem, so it definitely is not a Southern thing.
Those Southerners, they just take everything and it belongs to them.
Well, Annie just looked it up, and apparently it started in Harlem in the 30s. Harlem. Nope, it's not.
It's not Southern unless you're talking Southern from Antarctica.
Um, Julie, you probably could. You just have to probably go to the health food store to get them. I haven't seen them, but then I haven't looked for them. Partially because I don't eat much of that kind of thing. So, okay, Andrea says yes in the freezer section.
Gluten-free waffles, is that what they're
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah. And Mike's gonna make chicken and waffles in 2020 in North Dakota.
All righty.
This will be a good bug to have his head stick out because his antenna are sort of attached to his legs, and they will help to sturdy it. Well, we are going to have something. I was looking at one of those fix it and forget it crockpot books,
Yeah.
and there was a chicken recipe in there, and basically what it is, it's like stroganoff, but you use chicken. So
Okay. I'm getting tired, so I'm going to glue some pages together in the middle.
there you go.
Mm.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I'm going to glue some bugs in. That page is good. We need some more bugs on this page. I have to put my eyeballs in, though, because I can't glue bugs with no eyeballs.
Janice says with the migration, it could have been someone from the South that opened a restaurant after moving to Harlem using a family recipe.
Yeah,
That's true. That's
I
true.
suppose so. Canopia soup. I don't believe so, Mike. What is it? Canopia? Am I saying? I'm probably not saying that right. Can you read Mike's question, Lisa, and say that word for me?
Canofia? Canofia?
Yeah, it would be an F sound, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Nofia, maybe. Nofla. Nofla. It's Phla.
That's an L, yeah.
Nofla soup. That's good as I
No,
can get.
and I've never even heard of it.
Uh, Me either, but I've never lived in South Dakota. So if it's a South Dakota thing, I don't know anything about it.
Um, oh, Nefla soup. Nefla, pronounced Nefla.
Still don't know anything about it.
No, but it sounds more familiar to me, but I cannot, and I will tell you no. Can you tell me what it is, Mike? Because I can't remember anything like that. What's in it? That's a good question. What's in it? Okay, we got to figure out where some of these bugs are going to show. I want this one to be right there. I want his behindy to just stick out in that hole like he's leaving home. Cream based soup, heavy dough balls, and chicken and celery. Some people add potatoes. Nope, I have never had that. And Susan says, and thank you because now I want that. I may have to look that up. Let's see how that is spelled again.
Oh dear.
I gotta go back. So good. Knoephia. Is that one of those like Norwegian type dishes? Mike? Okay, well, this guy needs to stick out right here. Yeah. It's German. Okay. Like chicken and dumplings, only it has dough balls instead of just throw carbs. There you go. It'll be full of carbs. Yes, it will. It will have lots of carbs. Put this one's little leg back in there. Glue it to the. I think I better glue that one on top too. Okay, that one's going out. That one's little head really sticks out. We need another little.
It's a German word meaning little knobs.
Little knobs. Well, here they make, let me see, it's the Italians that make gnocchi. Gnocchi is how you pronounce it, I think. And it's a really weird word. It's like, it starts with a G kind of thing, I think.
Looks like gnocchi or something like that.
Yeah. And it's like, it's potato It's kind of like potato dough balls. My mama's next door neighbor, she made that every year for Christmas. Um,
Buy those noodles, at the store. I see them all the time.
yeah.
I've never bought them, but
hmm Well,
but you can.
they're like eating a a dough ball made out of a potato. Yes, don't eat it if you're watching calories. Yeah. Uh-oh, Barbara, gotta go to the dentist. I get to go to the dentist on Monday. Yay! Just what I want to do. Mhm. Yes, yes. I want to do that. Yep. Uh-huh. Nope. But, got to. I'm tired of trying to be really careful with my tooth, so I will be glad to go to the dentist on Monday. Okay, this one. No, he's got to have his head stuck in there. Right over the hole, yes.
I wish I could just take these pages out. I can't. I think I'm going to do one of those cut way back things and give it some depth.
Things. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do need. No, I'm
Like
not.
matzo balls, yeah. Um, those things I can do. I haven't made chicken and dumplings in 100 million years. Of course, there's a lot of things that I didn't cook because Brandon couldn't eat it. So, all right, I'm down to this. I only got one bug, so I think I'll wait for a minute until I cut out some more bugs. Because, I am so glad I made it where the pages turn. I am, because it's way better as far as I'm concerned. Candy's here. Hi, Candy.
Hi, Candy.
Okay, Susie said, "Oh man, Barbara, not you too." Oh, for teeth. Ah, okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, guess what?
What?
My air conditioner quit working yesterday.
Oh no. The little one in your studio, not the big one, not your house.
No, the one in my car.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
That's even worse. Oh my gosh. Ugh. No, 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 no. I mean, Jeff's works funny. If you turn on the air conditioner, you get heat, but if you turn on the defroster, you get air conditioner. So, at least we get air conditioner. But
It's for several, for a while it's been having trouble. Like as long as you were actually driving, it would cool. But when you were stopped at a light or sitting in a parking lot or something, it started blowing hot air. It didn't used to do that, but for the last little while it's been doing that. But since I'm, going everywhere by myself, nobody's sitting in the car, I didn't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yesterday it just started blowing hot air. So I'm hoping it's just a Freon thing, but I don't know. It may get to wait until next summer or next spring when I may just do without it for a while because I really don't need to be spending more money on that car right now.
Yeah, Susan, he definitely there's fairly close to family. Oh, Mike just posted a recipe for it. Yay!
Cool.
Hey, Susan, the taking him off of those foods really made a big difference, and rotation diets really made a big difference. We worked really hard at it when he was younger, but now he just avoids a lot of that stuff. and therefore when he does eat it, the symptoms are not quite as severe. Um, he doesn't eat pizza very much anymore, but if he has a piece of pizza, I think he can now function the next day. Where when he was 4, piece of pizza would send him over the edge. So
Yeah.
there, but yeah, he had blood work. The testing he had was in for blood was done with blood work. So, and it really made a difference in his well-being. Once we took him off of a lot of the things that was a problem, within a year he was so much healthier. It was so much better. Newsprint and smoke. Yes, Barbara, those things are really bad. But carpet is a bad thing. Mike just said, sounds like it needs to be recharged, Lisa. Cheap enough fix. And yeah,
I'm hoping that's what it is.
it's worth
I'm
having
going
it
to take
checked.
it in and have them look at it, but
Yeah. When mine finally decided it absolutely wasn't going to work anymore was because the Freon kept leaking out of it.
yeah.
Well, and
I'm
then
hoping
it
there's not a leak, but
and
it's
then it just
possible.
quit, and they had to, what was that thing that they had to replace? I don't know, but they replaced it, and that's when they had my car for like 5 weeks. Every time twice I went to bring it home and it wasn't fixed. Needless to say, somebody got an earful. That was the day that the second time was the day that I drove back. I turned around in the road and took it back within 5 minutes. And the guy who runs the counter yelled at the boss and said, "You better come out here. She's back." I didn't even get inside before they were out the door. And I said, "Get in the car and go for a ride." I'm like, I'm done with this. And it was the part they had replaced. It was just bad. So, it's not totally their fault, but it was their fault for not driving it and making sure it was right when I'd already had it back once already. I suppose I should have inked all these bugs, but there's a point.
No, I think you inked the book. The bugs are okay. Okay.
Oh, that Brandon's is just mostly food, and I mean he has seasonal allergies as well, but it's really food that gets to him. And then once we got him, let's see, more better for better. Once we got his immune system built up a little bit better, his seasonal allergies they're still not great, but they're not as bad. The the pollens and the molds outside and things like that. And of course now mostly what he eats is fresh vegetables and meat, and he's not a big bread eater either. He does eat some, I think, but not a lot because of gluten. Basically it's gluten, but he's allergic to wheat, rye, oats, barley, and buckwheat. So, what is it but probably gluten. When we went to Alaska, he was 4. I had 7 kinds of flour with me when our camper died, and we had to get another camper, and the other camper was so much smaller. It was very interesting. You know, this book is going to take longer to cut out all the little bugs than oh, Susan, that's ridiculous. See, Lisa's inking her edges. Well,
I'm just
I
looking to
coffee.
see if I like it or not.
Yeah, I coffeed mine.
Those are the ones that are,
They're hiding, so it doesn't matter if you.
yeah. I got a little right here, but I can pull that back if I need to.
Yeah. Well, I kind of like it, but because it looks kind of in the, at least on camera, it looks like it's burnt out the edges of it.
Yeah.
Now, did you use brown or did you use a green? Because I can't tell.
I used two different greens.
Okay.
And the fern green is this one here,
Mm-hmm.
and the library green is this one in here that looks burnt to you probably, but it looks very blue green to me. I don't think I like that one.
Oh, I wouldn't like that. No.
I think I like this one though.
Okay, that's the one I actually like on camera.
I was kind of hoping that a combination of them would be cool, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But I'm trying to decide if I want to do um if I want to do that or not.
Like you're too young. You never watched that kind of. That was actually a TV show.
Buckwheat and Darla. Who else was part of that? Spanky,
Yep.
the Little Rascals.
Yep. Yep. That's what it was. Little Rascals. Yep. Alfalfa was one of them. Yes, Candy.
Yeah,
Alfalfa. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Alfalfa was one. Yeah,
I
they were
don't know
pretty good.
what have you decided? Are you going to put the green on there?
I think it needs something.
I kind of agree. Flip back to where the fern green is. Let me see it again. I like the fern green. You might find that you like it with a sponge better than with just the um, pad, if that makes sense. It goes in a little softer,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be fun inking all those pages.
No. Um, I'm wondering about. Let's go back further where we got some more. If I do some like the sepia, just lightly, and then add a little bit of the fern green to the sepia. I think I like that better.
Okay. And that won't be that hard to do if you just do every 4 or 5 sections of pages.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just open it and
I didn't know that, Susan. Okay, I was going to take you off full screen. Oh, this is why I fussy cut when I'm doing shows, because then I have two things to keep me busy, because fussy cutting is not my favorite thing to do. I started to tell you, Lisa, that I had been watching the I had the Excalibur site for my dehydrator part.
Uh-huh.
I knew I needed to get a new wire mesh screen because somehow or another I've lost one. Now I can't remember if it had an accident or just what. I hadn't used the dehydrator in a long time, but I've been using it. I've dried my basil twice. The silly basils are just they're just having a ball out there. And I wasn't sure I was going to have enough freezer space for the pumpkins. And I'm thinking about dehydrating some pumpkin anyways, just to try it out.
Yeah.
And to do that, I kind of needed the Teflon screen sheets, which I've always wanted anyways. So, I mean, I could have gotten by without it, but and used parchment, but I was ordering the other piece, and they're not that expensive, so I just went ahead and got it. Mike says, I'm sure that's why it's called fussy cutting. We all just love doing it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Uh-huh. I would much rather paint with my Inktense pencils, but you know. Or doodle. I liked it. That is something I need to get done this week if I'm going to finish up that other video. This takes a while. This stuff when you're doing all the doodles on these,
Yeah.
takes a while. And I didn't want to film 7 hours of doodling, so I set it aside to do it because with the way Facebook is working now, I cannot post my pictures for my shows all at one time. I have to do it like every 8 or 9 minutes. Otherwise, it eats them. It's just totally and completely ridiculous. But it's been that way for sort of that way for a while. It's even worse now. So I need to have something else to do at the same time, or it makes me a little irritable. Yeah, it isn't hard to do. I get irritable very easily, so you can ask Jeff. So I'll finish fussy cutting. If I don't get these finished, I can finish fussy cutting the bugs, and then because I'm going to have to do that other sheet, I think, to just have enough bugs to do my book. I fuss if I have to do it, Susan says. Yep. Thank you, Susan. I like to doodle. That's the thing. I really do like to doodle. So
this may have made it too dark, but we're going to just go ahead and finish it now because we started.
Yeah, you kind of have to now.
Yeah.
But when you put your pictures in there, don't you think it'll lighten it up some?
Yeah, because I'm not inking them.
Right.
So, and they will distract you from this too.
Right. It will have more light in the center of the hole. Julie, I saw you had posted something, but I haven't really looked. I was in the group putting up my listing, so I didn't get a chance to really look at it. You thought she snuck out? Well, she probably has to go to work. Although she's been here a while, you must not be going to work today, Julie. Is that true? I don't know. Okay, so we're down to here. And we got to have some bugs that are happily in there. Let's put this one.
Okay. There it is, without anything else except the pictures from the middle of the book.
Well, that looks kind of cool, actually. Let me get you bigger. Yeah, that honestly looks very cool. And then when you start putting your pictures in it, it's going to distract from the...
Yeah. And I'm just not sure how many pictures I can actually put in there.
Yeah.
It may be some pictures on this sheet and pictures on this sheet and just a few in there, because if I do too many, it'll just look cluttered.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
So, but we will pull them out and see what we think.
Okay, let's see here. This bug needs to go in there, but I can't seem to make it get in its little spot. There must be some glue in there.
All of these got out of order.
They did. Uh-oh, not good. You're on your... Oh, that's right. Julie's been on holiday. I forgot. Of course, I told everybody I was going to the post office on Monday. Since Jeff doesn't work anymore, I don't know when it is a holiday and when it isn't. And it was a holiday on Monday. So it was kind of like, oh, well, didn't know that, but that's okay. I think we will put this guy's head in the... Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Lisa's disorderly pictures. Yes, Teresa. Mike, you can get the Stampin' Up! Catalog, but you have to pay for them. They've always been one of those things you have to pay for, and they're kind of pricey if you ask me. I always thought they were. But if you just go to Stampin' Up!, they'll online, they will give you a dealer that's close to you. And a lot of times if you go to a party, they will have catalogs that you can buy. Okay, where's this one going to go? This one is going to go, well, and I think right here. Oh. Uh-oh. It's your unbirthday today? It's Linda's unbirthday today. Happy unbirthday. And yet she's having to cook her own dinner.
Maybe she can have an undinner. Say, well, if I have to cook it, it's going to be an undinner.
She bought herself some new Posca paint pens. Yay!
Yay!
Yes, through a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Demonstrator, not dealer is what they call them. Well, and you know, Susan, I've used I've looked through Marketplace, and a lot of times what they want for things is kind of pricey. I was very, very surprised at how overpriced some things were. Okay, so this big bug's gonna sit right there, I think. Either that or I just don't look often enough and don't find the good deals on Marketplace. It's from Alice in Wonderland. Ooh, cool. Oh, that's what the unbirthday is from. It's from Alice in Wonderland. I did not note that. Okay, so we got that. We gotta glue him in there. Uh-oh, don't go that far down. Your pretty colors won't show if you don't stay up there. Oh, and now you got glue everywhere. Okay, gotta have another one. I don't know why I think that there needs to be 3 bugs on every page, because I don't suppose that really and truly you need to have 3 bugs on every page. But that seems to be what I have been doing. Okay. Lost my pen. Hi, Janet. The new Christmas stuff is great. Janet Nash is here.
Hi, Janet. I think that's all I'm going to put in the.
Oh, that looks really good.
Front.
Let me make you big. That looks awesome. That is fabulous, Lisa.
I really like it. I thought maybe I could put some more up here, but I think it wanted to all focus back to that point.
It looks perfect that way. I would just go with that.
Okay, I'm going to go with it. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda. Jeffrey, hon, would you make me some more tea? My tea fairy, I had to call him. You need more decent stamps? I have stamps and I just don't tend to use them. We're going to carve stamps in December too, Mike. Thank you, hon. And yes, I'm watching. And we're going to use erasers for carving stamps. Were you here when we talked about it the other day? Oh, well, it would help if you could see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
These were carved with Dollar Tree erasers. So's this one. So's that one. Those are all Dollar Tree erasers. That one. These are those Pentel erasers. And I did get some of those at Dollar Tree, but you can get those at Walmart. This is one of my favorite little flowers, and it was a Dollar Tree eraser. It was in a big old pack of Dollar Tree. So, silicone molds last night for resin. I have resin. I used to use resin for some jewelry stuff I would do, but I haven't done any of it in a long time. Thank you, hon. Yeah, Teresa, good ink pads are really a good thing to have. But when you get good ink pads, the colors you use all the time, get yourself re-inkers. If ink pads that have reinkers, then the ink pads last a long, long time. That's my thing about them. That is just perfect, Lisa.
Okay, now
And
then,
see how much less dark it looks once you put the
yeah,
pictures in it?
it looks good.
Yeah.
Now from the back. Mm.
Susan, pick something really simple and go with something really simple, like just some, I don't know, some triangles or something like that that aren't hard and just and then the other thing is just practicing. I really think that's the case.
Practicing
And
what? I missed it.
it's carving,
Oh,
carving. And the other thing is not being afraid that if you're carving on a Dollar Tree eraser, to throw it away. A
that's right.
re-inker. Yes, Mike. Okay. This is a re-inker for my StazOn jet pad. You just well, I can just put a little on here. These pads, especially since they're oh solvent based, they get dry very fast. Okay, and you just re-ink it. Okay, just put a little on. You don't need a lot, and that will regenerate your ink pad. The other thing is keep your ink pads with the surface down. Now, Stampin' Up! Ink pads like this one, when you close this one, it stores down. Just a minute. This one has an attitude. Um, see, when you tip it upside down, or when you close it, it actually tips itself upside down. And see, like I said, it's got an attitude. It's a little warped. Okay, come on now. There we go. Okay, so that's the new style of Stampin' Up! Pad. This one's water-based now. The black one, however, it's water-based ink, dye ink, but it's permanent once it dries. And I have a re-inker for it. This is a re-inker. This is Distress Ink Vintage Photo, and it's for this kind of pad. Now, these come with droppers. It's a dropper style. So when you're re-inking your pad, you squeeze it out of the dropper. Now, the nice thing about this is that the other day when I was painting my book, I put some of this ink out on what do you call that, on a lid, and used it like paint, which is really cool. Teresa, archival, in my opinion, are the ones to buy. They dry fast, are permanent, don't smear when wet, come in every color. And that is what I just recently got myself. Don't tell me I got to buy more stuff, Tanya. My wife is going to throw you out soon. Nah, she won't. Yeah, you've had her a little while. This is archival ink. And that's something you need to think about when you're getting pads, because in the past, I have these. Where are they? I bought these here a couple years ago. Now, luckily, they were on clearance, so I didn't spend a ton of money on them. And I love their little size for what I do with ink pads. But if you're trying to ink a big stamp, a little ink pad like this is really a pain. It really is not that much fun. I much prefer the bigger ink pads. These are both dye based. Only Stampin' Up's black one, and I think maybe one other color, hi Dawn, is permanent. These are not permanent when they get wet. And because I do so much collage and what do you call that? Wet Mod Podge over things and stuff like that. Not having permanence has made me irritable. So Lisa was just she and Barbara were enabling me. So I went and got the there was 3 colors. There was the 4 colors: plum, black, coffee, and sepia. And then when I used that plum to use with my stencil the other day, it was so perfect. I decided I'd get myself a few more of these. So as soon as I brought this home, I knew I would use the black one, the coffee one, and the sepia one a lot. So I ordered the reinkers to go with them. And so I have the archival reinkers for those 3. I will probably see which ones I use a ton and order those reinkers, because reinkers make it makes your pads last a long time. One of the things that happened, okay, I had this is StazOn ink, and it's the Timber Brown. This is the new one. I have an old one. Somehow or another, in aging, the ink turned very green in it. So even though I had the brown reinker, I was getting green all the time, which was really pretty, but it was not brown. So I ended up having to get a new pad. But that's because I didn't use it and didn't use it and didn't use it. And yes, Julie, the distress ink is great for making backgrounds if you know you're not going to get it wet. Lisa, you realize Dawn is here, and hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawn. No, I didn't. It's good to see you. I'm sorry. I'm concentrating.
She's working. She's still working. StazOn. I love the StazOn pads for their permanence and the fact that StazOn will print on plastic. It will print on glass. It will print on thousands of things. But it was eating. I mean, just eating these little things. It was just eating them alive. And if I used makeup sponges, it was eating them. So to ink edges and stuff and have permanence, the archivals will be a lot better. But keeping your ink pads upside down is actually a really good thing. If you notice, most ink pads have their names on the back. Now I'm putting these in here, so like that, but the name is actually on the back. But since I'm putting these in here, I just been turning this whole case upside down. That keeps the ink in the surface of the thing. So now that I have just gone on and on and on and on and on. Glass and metals, plastic, yeah, and it's stinky because it's solvent. Yeah. StazOn black is like soup. Ooh. Hi, Malaya. And if I'm going to rubber stamp something, I don't mind using this at all. I just, it was just that for a lot of the other things I was doing, those little archival pads are really nice. I love making backgrounds with this distress ink, but a lot of times it doesn't stay where it needs to be. So but yeah, I buy right ink. Now I actually back when I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I have my first set of ink pads are not this kind. This is a newer style. There was an old clamshell where they opened up like that. And a couple of my sets were like that, and then a couple of the sets are like this. I have reinkers for every single one of these, but I rarely use them anymore because they're not permanent. So that's what I'm talking about, is about supplies. But I got those. Um, I was a demonstrator for quite a few years, and I got them as hostess gifts, basically. That's what I used by. Yeah, Teresa, I would, if I was only going to buy one thing, Lisa, wouldn't you buy archival inks?
Yes.
Okay, and Lisa has a big archival ink pad. You've got the sepia one or the brown
I've got black and sepia both in the really big one.
Yeah, and
but if I was going to spend that kind of money, I would buy the 4-pack that has the sepia, the coffee, the black, and the plum, instead of buying the big ink pad.
Yeah, because
there are some things where the big ones are really nice. So
yeah, when you're trying to stamp a bigger stamp, they have even newer cases now. Linda says for stamping up. Yeah, because this one, they have an attitude sometimes. They get worn in a way that makes them have an attitude like this one does. And so they have an even newer case. So these are a couple of generations old. So okay, I was cutting out bugs. And guys, I have to go right at 4:30 today. So unfortunately, when Lisa finishes her gluing that in or getting it settled, we're going to have to go.
I'm kind of thinking that's all I want to put in there.
There again, I like the way it looks. It leads your eye to the back.
Yeah.
That little person on the right looking up towards the other two. And yes, Susan, that plum color is really a pretty color. It comes with the black, the coffee, and the sepia.
That to me, if you're only going to buy one set, that's the one to buy.
Yeah. Malaya says she thinks the archival inks tend to be kind of dry. It's 4:22. Yes, I know, Teresa. That's why I'm thinking Lisa's gonna glue, and then we're gonna probably go. So yeah, that's right, Julie. That's hubby is gonna want you to help swap cars. Aha. Okay. Well, that's why my hubby wants me to take him to get his car. We've been noticing it had this funny. Jeff said, it's just doing this weird thing. It's just not right. It's not right. You know how when you drive something all the time. And in February last year, he had the whole front end just about rebuilt, except for bearings. And sure enough, he's got had a bad bearing. So since we're going to tow it next week, I said, let's just get it dealt with, because I don't want to be towing it and have something fall and break.
Put it
the last thing I need. Did you boo-boo?
I put it too low.
You got it off though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Susan, that's what Lisa did. She split her book in the middle, and she's got one seam that goes from the front and the other seam that goes from the back.
No, I want it right here.
Okay, I'm going to do, while you're finishing gluing, I'm going to do a little flip of my book, and then you can finish gluing, and then we'll do a little quick flip of yours.
Alrighty.
Okay, let me get you in close. Let's see if I can get you closer anyways. Yep, that'll work. Okay. So right before we went last time, I added that bug, and I really like him there. So I'm pleased I added him. I think I'm going to hunt a nameplate. I got Jeffrey's car is at the shop, Susan, and we have to be there before 5 o'clock to get it. I think I'm going to put a nameplate in here with the bug feast on the side of it. So, and you can see all the bugs as you go down. There's a lot of bugs in there. But I really like that I decided to go ahead and make it where the pages turn, because then you can see more of the bugs. There needs to be a bug right back there in the hole that's very bright. So I'll have to find something that's... Sometimes the bugs are under the edge of the paper on purpose so that they're kind of like... This bug is tired of the whole thing. He's fat and he's happy and he's ready to go home. He's done chewing. Yeah, we're gonna look at it real quick. She's about done gluing. And I have a few now sticking out, which is what I wanted. And I'm only about halfway done. I'm going to have another page of bugs, I'm afraid. Yep, that's where I'm at. Okay. And see, then on the edges, I have a few sticking out. Not a lot. Back here in this hole, I'll have to have some that really kind of stick out around that hole. One big bird in the middle. Yeah, it was a big bug. Okay.
All right, here's the front. The first half of the story. And then here is the second half of the story. Although those are not all necessarily in order because I pulled some things.
But now are you going to glue that together so that the pages don't turn?
That's my plan, yes.
I think that will be a good idea. Yes, this book is chewed right through. That's right. Oh, well, you can't see me now. So
the hard thing will be
right down through. So
I was just saying the hard thing will be to glue these all together without gluing the rest of it.
Right.
And I'm not sure how to make that happen.
Well, I'd let your pictures settled in before you messed with it.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to just put it under something and let it flatten out some. But I got all these pictures that I didn't use.
Oh, Susan, they're telling me I should put a bird in the middle with a bug in it. A big bird in the middle. I thought she was talking about this big bug, this big bird. Big bug that looks like a bird. Yeah, he's probably after all these other bugs to eat them. That's probably what he's doing. So you're going to use those kind of as a collage on the front and the back.
I don't know if I'm going to or not. I don't know if there's a way to do them where they'll look nice. And even if I did, I think they would distract from this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll think about it.
Thank you, Susan.
And next
Teresa, Teresa says clamp and varnish. And that might be the best choice.
Well, that's what I would do if... I mean, the problem is clamping just this part.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to do. I want to clamp this together and varnish it.
Right.
But I don't know if I have clamps that will...
Does Darren have any C clamps?
Yes, we do have some C clamps.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
All right. If you took your book, and I would get some big heavy pieces of cardboard and stick it like this, take some cardboard and C clamp it, and then I would varnish like one section, let it get a little dry, varnish the next section, or turn it upside down and varnish the bottom. I wouldn't try to varnish it all at one time. I might C-clamp together and varnish the top and then turn it over and varnish the bottom and then move your clamps to the top and bottom and do the side.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, guys, I need to run. We have to run get Jeff's Jeep. Unfortunately, there was some confusion. He thought he was going to be done with all of this at 7:30 this morning, and there was confusion. So,
Confusion.
yeah, well,
Like
somebody
confusion.
somebody else yesterday did the scheduling. He went in yesterday, wanted to get it done, and they had to order parts. So, he was supposed to go back at 7:30 this morning and have it done, and no big deal. Well, they got there and there was already 15 cars in front of him. So, anyways, okay, guys, thank you very, very much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks for